Hey everyone, this is Seb bringing you a new retro review. This time I would like to talk about a little NES game using Greek mythology as its setting. Well, that should really narrow it down, since how many of those does the NES library have again? 4? Add to that this one is actually good and you won't have much left to choose from. Well, I'm here to talk about the mostly overshadowed and forgotten gem that is the Battle of Olympus. Why is it overshadowed? Well, because it had the unfortunate timing of being released 1 year and even 3 whole years over here in Europe after Zelda II: The Adventure of Link, and both games share a lot of similarities. So many gamers filed the game under shameful ripoff and moved on. Well, those who did that missed out, as this is actually a great game. I would even go as far as saying that they made a better game with the engine. Yes, I said it. This little company called Infinity made a more enjoyable game with the Battle of Olympus than Nintendo did with Zelda II. Not to say that Zelda II is a bad game per se, it just had some annoying things that I personally don't like. Anyway, enough about Zelda II. We're here to talk about the Battle of Olympus. It tells the tale of Orpheus and Eurydice, or Helena if you read the manual. It isn't a very accurate retelling of the tale, but then again it would make for a rather short game if it was. The important thing is that your love has been taken into Hades and you're going in there to take her back. First you need to prepare with the aid of the gods, who seem rather nice in this game, except for Ares, he's a dick. You'll also encounter many other elements straight out of Greek mythology, like receiving the power of fire from Prometheus and getting the golden apple out of the gardens of the Hesperides. Not to mention all the enemies you encounter. You'll need to hack away at quite a few of them too, which is no easy task, let me tell you. You see, the enemies in this game are relentless and they want you dead bad. It also doesn't help that a lot of them sport movements that are very tough to predict. They do have certain patterns, but some enemies just randomize when and how they use those, and on top of that most enemies move pretty damn fast too. And then I haven't even talked about the many pits scattered around the game, which are by far your worst enemy. You will get knocked into pits again, and again, and again, and well, sometimes you get lucky. Enemies are often placed in ways that they can easily knock you down into those damn pits too, and I'm especially looking at you, bats. Luckily you have infinite lives, so you can just go on from the start of the area you've died in. Unfortunately, this does cost you half of your olives, which may drop from enemies and serve as currency in the game. Most gods demand that you offer a certain amount before they bestow upon you their gifts. These gods may be nice, except for that Ares prick, but they have one huge appetite for olives, often asking for ridiculous amounts. Which brings us to the most annoying aspect of this game, grinding for olives. Usually it doesn't take that long, but it just breaks up the action and feels like a chore, and that's no fun. So losing half those olives after grinding for a while can be pretty damn annoying. But once you do manage to feed those gods, they have some neat little items for you to use. Apart from that, the gods also serve as save points. Unfortunately, the game does not feature battery backup, so you'll have to try and get those passwords right. Seriously, the passwords in this game are just ridiculous. You've got small and capital letters and numbers too. Now the game may make the difference clear on screen, but try taking those over on paper. Luckily, in this day and age we can just make screenshots or a picture with our phones, but I remember all too clearly how these passwords would get the better of me back then. So apart from the setting and some cool items, what makes this game so great? Well, it's also the pacing, which is really good in my opinion. Throughout most of the game you are working towards achieving your main goal and preparing for that. You don't waste time on meaningless side quests that have little to no relevance to the main story, with one kidnapping in the beginning being the exception. I often dislike how games get sidetracked and lose focus on the main story. Not here. Also, the simple fact that there is actually a story is pretty nice. Sure, by today's standards it's nothing special, but back then many games had very little in the way of storytelling, especially in action games like these. Most of the dialogues are also decently well done and give clear hints on where to go next and what you should be looking for. This helps bring the world more to life and get you immersed into it and actively looking for whatever was mentioned. And you sure should do so, as this game sports some very well hidden secrets to discover. Also, Orpheus is just a badass in this game. I mean, think about it. You've got a guy here who is killing the Hydra with a freaking stick. Now, if that's not dedication to your love, then I don't know what is. Not only that, but he's also basically giving the finger to Hades himself. No one messes with Orpheus, man. Although he does have his creepy sides too. Especially when it comes down to riding dolphins, I'm not too sure if all his morals are in check. Seriously though, it just feels good slaying those mythological beasts, and the game does a good job of portraying them too. Although animation can sometimes be a bit limiting and choppy, the sprites themselves look really cool and detailed. Most of the backgrounds look pretty nice too, and you'll venture into a decent amount of different environments. The sound is also great for the most part. You've got some truly amazing arrangement in the music department. Unfortunately, there are also a couple of stinkers, and the sound effects themselves are nothing special. The good far outweighs the bad though. The game also offers the right challenge. It can be pretty hard at first, but it's by no means impossible or one of the harder games out there. I'm not the best gamer ever, and even I can still beat this game with relative ease. And that is without resorting to save states on emulators. So, if you've never played this game and are looking for a new challenge in an action game, then why not give this one a try? I like it a lot, and it's one of my favorite NES games for sure. It's not perfect and it has its annoying bits, but everything put together, I find it a very enjoyable game to go through from time to time. Well, that's it for me on this game. Let me know what you think about the game and what your experiences have been like with it. I'd love to hear them. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.